I made a video that made more views on YouTube than your whole channel.
That's facts. I'm not cutting that out either. That's staying in.
83,000 views, and nobody's gonna know what video it is.
And with that, it is Thursday, December 7th at 7:52. Unfortunately, I was 22 minutes late, not very punctual. We are here to talk about Army versus Navy. It is Billy Ray Mitchell, it is Ed Williams, and it is guitar player, cat dad, homeowner, Naval Academy graduate, and Marine pilot in training, my brother, Jackson Lee Mitchell, and one of his many cats. Jackson, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the Sons of Saturday.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Sorry, the damn Mary took the plug out of my headphones.
Well, I just gave you a great intro. Jackson, welcome. First time on the pod.
Happy to be
We've
here.
been talking about this for a long time. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. I'm excited. I'm ready to bring the juice. We talked earlier. This is going to be a 3.5 hour podcast. Hope your fans are ready for it. I'm ready for it. I don't know if they are. I don't know if you are.
I don't know if I am either. I know that we've
23 minutes late.
We've all indulged in some alcoholic beverages.
Cheers
for the
fellas.
podcast today. Well, wait, we got to first cheers. That's right. Shout out to our guy Pete B. He coined this. So let's go around the room, see what everybody's drinking. I am drinking Goose Island Neon Bear Hug, 1,000 volts of flavor. That is what I'm sipping on. Ed, you are on mute. Tough start.
Dude, you act like I've been here before. I am having a little bit of Green River whiskey for now. We'll see what I switch to during this 3-hour episode that Jackson is talking about. But Jax, what you got?
I'm having a little Stranahan's Blue Peak single malt straight out of Colorado from 200 South Calumet Street, Colorado, or Denver, Colorado, 30223.
There we go.
Good stuff.
There we go. So if you guys want to drive over there and pick that up, go for it. No Pat today. Pat is driving to Richmond with our guy Jay Litt. Shout out to Jay Litt. And we're going to talk about a plethora of stuff. He did submit a haiku, Jackson, so we do hokey haikus. Do you know what haikus are?
No.
Okay. A haiku is a poem, 3 stanzas, 5. What are these called? They're called what? Syllables. 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. So his haiku: Army Navy game, Blue Angels versus the Camo. Who is gonna win? And that brings us to our first topic of the night, the 123rd Army Navy game. Army trails Navy 62-54 all time with 7 ties. Navy had this is a fun fact. Navy had a 14-game winning streak that largely mirrored Virginia Tech's winning streak over UVA. Navy defeated Army every damn year from 2002 to 2015. Virginia Tech beat UVA every damn year, 2004 to 2018. So a 15 and a 14-game win streak. Might want to call it dominant. Seems pretty dominant. That's what it is. The last 5 games have seen a different winner. The location is very near and very dear to my heart. It is in Boston. It's actually in Foxborough, but near Boston in the Patriots Stadium. It's going to be 49 degrees and cloudy. Fired up about it. So, Jax, I think the best place to start is we used to get in arguments all the time. Yankees, Red Sox, Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Auburn. What is your case for Army Navy being the best rivalry in sports?
Well, I believe Army Navy represents a whole lot more than most other college. Let's speak college rivalries. And, we'll start at ground, level 1. In college football, I think, at least historically, the stakes for a high school kid to decide to go. Now, I'm taking myself out of this because, full disclosure, I went to Navy. I didn't know I wanted to be in the military until I got there. I went there because it was a good school opportunity and it was a good football opportunity. That's all I was thinking about when I was a 2-3 student in high school getting ready to go to the prep school for Navy. I was also a prep school guy, which means I was not an academic stud. But in order to make it through one of the service academies, specifically Army and Navy in this instance, it takes, you know, to play, you got to be a good football player in order to play at one of those schools. That's step one in order to play for Army Navy. But for every student who goes there, it's freaking hard. Um, for most people who go to Navy or West Point, who aren't the athletic scholarship guys, who aren't the recruited football players, for them to make the commitment to decide to go there, it takes a whole lot. It takes a lot of sacrifice. And it takes sacrifice not only when you decide to go there, but every single year you're there, it takes sacrifice. So it means a whole lot to the student base. Recently, neither of the teams been. Let's be honest. Neither of the teams have been awesome. I think the last great year was 2019, pre-COVID. That was the last year I can remember where Army Navy was as good as it's going to get. We played in Philly. It was Malcolm Perry, and we were playing West Point. I guess when I think of a college rivalry, I think of history, meaning how many years has it been around? Army Navy's been around forever. Ever since college football was a thing, Army Navy's been a thing. I think of how much it means to the student base at each school. I know at Navy, the Army Navy game is a big deal, not just on the football field. If Navy wins, great things happen at school. If Navy loses, they don't happen. Great things happen at West Point.
What great things happen at school?
So oftentimes the Army Navy game, the result of it, if we win, there's a thing at the service academies where the underclassmen are encouraged to make bets with the upperclassmen and the senior leadership at school, where if these bets are made, they're required to honor it. They're not signed or anything. And I know of bets that a freshman, they call them plebes at Navy, a plebe made a bet with the commandant, basically saying if Army loses this game, if Navy beats them by X amount of points, then you're required to give us extra liberty, or you're required to give us this. And we did it. And that, that directly impacted our lives as students. It meant a lot. Now I think about, I don't really know how much it means to the broad Army branch of the military and the Navy branch of the military. I don't know, because I haven't, again, full disclosure, I haven't made it there yet in my career. But my understanding is, to the people who appreciate football and appreciate the military, it means the world. And I don't know. I don't know if it's better than Alabama, Auburn, or Michigan, Ohio State. I don't know. I know it's my favorite, and I'll die on that hill. And I think it means a lot. There's certain things that go on at the Army Navy game that don't go on at other schools. There's not many other games that will have parents in the stadium and parents watching on TV crying their eyeballs out watching. Army Navy is one of those games that where parents watch it. They may not have anybody in the military. They may not know anybody in the military, but they love their country. And Army Navy, to the people watching at home who love football, Army Navy is a representation of the military for the fans at home. So it means the world to them, and it's an honor for everybody who ever played in it. I've never, again, I was a practice squad guy. I practiced at Navy. I didn't play football there. I practiced. But it was an honor to practice and prepare the guys who, I was an offensive scout guy. It was an honor to prepare the defense to go play Army that year and every other year that I played. And it's an honor to us, the fans I hope that we make the fans proud. Um, I don't think I've ever seen my dad cry like he cried at a Army Navy intro on TV, or my mom. So I know it means a lot to them, and frankly I've never seen them cry at a college football game ever. And my dad played college football; he loves college football, but something about that game brings certain emotions out of people that other games don't.
I'll tell you, as an observer, I've watched it every single year, and the pageantry of that football game. I got to go to the Philadelphia game. No other games on, flyovers, national anthem, the video that CBS does before. They absolutely do it right. And then the stakes that both teams are playing for, with the understanding that most, if not all, of the guys aren't going to play it down in football on Sunday, but they are going to go serve their country after it. It is tremendous. The uniforms are awesome. Pageantry is awesome. I got a coworker who's going to the game this week in Boston. He said it's been on his bucket list forever. No ties to Army, no ties to Navy. He's super excited to go. Ed, excuse me, got a bunch of burps. Ed, what is your opinion on the Army Navy game?
I mean, it's honestly not like something that I was super, I guess, paying attention to for most of my sports fandom. I always thought it was a cool thing, but never really, I guess, fully understood it until honestly watching it with Jackson last year at that brewery we were all at for way too long. But I really enjoyed seeing like Jackson get into it and seeing truly like he just talked about how much it meant to him and to all his teammates and everybody that went to both schools. So it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, it if you like scoring, if you're a West Coast football fan, you're gonna hate this game. But it is a unique thing, both in terms of the style of play and the event itself, because it's really an event more than it is a football game in some ways too. So
Jax, tell me a little bit about what goes on campus during this game. I know that we saw the Navy is running the football up to Foxborough. I know you mentioned, I don't remember if this had to do with the Army Navy game, but a prank, like Army will prank Navy. Like, tell me about some of the stuff that goes on that isn't talked about very much about the Army Navy game.
Okay, so everybody knows about the ball run. That's very highly publicized. It's 13th company. So the Naval Academy is divided into 30 companies as of now. It's changed. That number's changed over the history of the Naval Academy, but right now it's 30 companies. 13th company is the one that's historically ran the ball from the Naval Academy to the game. They're the freshmen and whoever else wants to go gets together and they take a football.
No matter where the game is?
Then they run the ball there.
No matter where the game is.
No matter where
isn't the game always East Coast, or is it? When was the last time
Been
it
in
wasn't
San Diego once?
They played in San Diego, and I think they did a ball run then. I could be wrong. I didn't do my history research on the 13th company ball run, but my understanding is they've ran the ball to every game. Anyway, going back, so everybody knows about the ball run. Something that I don't think a lot of people know about that is, I didn't partake, but everybody else who didn't play football at the time because they didn't practice, they partook in this. Every time we play Army or Air Force, the week prior is an opportunity for the students of the Naval Academy to sort of have a little fun. It is, well, never mind. I'm not going to go there, but it's an opportunity for everybody to have a little fun. So I remember Sunday night prior to the game, there would be an announcement over the loudspeaker. Everybody lives in one dorm at Navy. I don't know how it is at West Point, but at Navy, everybody lives in one big dorm building. It's called Bancroft Hall. People may know that, they may not, but all 4,400 of us live there. There's a big announcement that says Army Week has now commenced. And then they say, it's essentially a purge call. If anybody's seen The Purge, they'll get it. Oh my God. But if anybody's seen The Purge, they'll get it. And come on now. What the hell are you doing? Sorry, cats. But if anybody's seen The Purge, they'll get it. Okay. They make a call, and essentially for that whole week, it's fair game.
Yeah.
The rules that exist are often bent during that week. So that Monday morning is an interesting sight. Essentially, people can play pranks. They can do whatever their mind allows them to do, they'll do
Well,
it.
can you tell me what that means? I mean, I used to
Okay.
prank my friends all the time. Like, come on.
Okay,
give
so
me
I
some juice.
remember Monday morning I woke up and every senior's mattress was in the hallway. And they were all covered in mustard Monday morning. I remember Tuesday morning one year, there were a couple trucks parked on the practice field, and then we came to find out that they were all the student leadership's trucks, which means freshmen went and broke into their rooms while they were sleeping, took the keys and took their trucks and moved them to somewhere. And I thought that was pretty funny. Damn, Eddie. Sorry, I got cats and they're little maniacs. But that happened, and it was funny. What else? The bets, like I said, people will make bets with senior leadership about the Army Navy volleyball game and every other game that happens. It's just it's a good time. The lunches and the dinners that everybody's required to eat lunch together. Obviously, the football team, they eat in a separate spot because they need a little bit more food. I know my big ass was eating a whole lot more chicken cordon bleus than the dudes on the water polo team, right? So we ate in a separate spot. But the Chow Hall is a fun place to be around that time, just because there's a whole lot of hell raising going on. It's just it's a good time. Everybody, they find their way to enjoy it, and it's one of the few things about going to school at a service academy that's different than going to school at a normal school. That makes it, in my opinion, I had fun there. I had a great time at Navy. I enjoyed my time. I'm happy I went there. I would do it 10 times over. It's one of the things that makes you, I don't know if it makes you proud to go there, because a lot of dumb shit happens. Excuse my language. A lot of dumb stuff happens. But it gives you a smile as you walk into class to go fail a physics quiz. It's something to smile about.
I will add, it looks like this year to Boston is the longest run.
Yeah, I was checking. I was about to, I don't know if we're looking at the same article.
Yeah.
So they've done it every year since 1980.
In the 80s,
and they did not go to Pasadena in 1983, which is understandable. Can't blame them for not running to Pasadena.
But you
but
got to run through the Rockies at that point.
Yes.
So this year is 450 miles, and it apparently is the longest one.
There's a couple stops in New Jersey.
There you go.
God damn, man.
So, thoughts on the game? Currently, the line sits at Army -3. The over-under is set at an astonishing 27.5 points.
It's like an Iowa game.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. So, Jackson, what is your score prediction?
I don't have one. I think both teams are going to go out there and play as hard as possible. That's all you can ask. I think it'd be crazy to make a score prediction.
But that's what we do.
Okay. We played West Point, and it was 2019, Malcolm Perry's last year, and it was 37 something to, I think, 7. I hope that it's 100-0 Navy. I'll go with that. That'll be my score prediction.
100-0 Navy. That is your score prediction. I'm gonna go with 16. I'll go 16-17.
If we're gonna go real scores, I'll go 24-21 Navy.
Okay. I'll go 16-17 Navy. Ed.
I am plugging this into one of those sports AI things. Give me 2 seconds.
Actually, scratch that. I'll go 14-10 Navy.
14-10.
So Billy, you said 16-17, so you have a slight under on this game total.
I do.
Army Navy, according to this AI generated thing, says that Army is going to win by 6.2 points. I don't like that. I'm going to go Navy to cover the 3.
Real. It's artificial intelligence. Everybody knows that. It's artificial.
So before we move on to some of our more fun questions, we had a question from PDF Commentator. He asks.
That's what I was going to say.
He asks, Army changed their offensive strategy due to NCAA banning cuts outside the tackle box. Do you think these changes, shotgun zone schemes, are sustainable for the service academies? Army has struggled thus far, but I believe they're playing the long game here. What do you think? Do you think that the elimination of basically the triple option as you knew it is sustainable?
So I believe the cut block and the triple option offense are two different things. I think of when you brought up that comparison, I believe a cut block is a 13 millimeter wrench in a mechanic's toolbox. The mechanic is the triple option. The cut block is the wrench. Okay. You can run the triple option without the cut block. Now, it makes it a little harder. There's a lot of nuts and bolts that are 13 millimeters. Okay. But you got to find a way. You got to find a way. I think the one thing that has hurt Navy, Army, Air Force, and a lot of other small schools, not saying that we're small schools, but a lot of other sort of, we'll go Power Six schools. Okay. I think the NIL has killed a lot of these schools and made it very hard for them to compete. Now, I know, speaking for the service academies in particular, they are not allowed to use or have any benefit from NIL.
To be fair, I don't think that it would be good for a kid to be choosing to go to
I
Army
agree.
or Air Force for
I agree.
monetary reasons.
I don't think,
yeah.
Personal opinion, this is Jackson Lee Mitchell's opinion, I don't think the NIL is a good thing for college football as a whole. Now, we'll get past that because I understand that Virginia Tech is a great beneficiary of the NIL. I understand that. In today's climate, certain schools, it's a good thing. Now, for Navy, I believe it hurt us because it made our coaches' jobs a whole lot harder to recruit. Now you gotta, you gotta find a guy. For me, I went to Navy because it was a good school and good football opportunity.
Right.
That's why I went there. That's not the reason I stayed there. Two different things. And that's sort of what I was getting at earlier, is that the people who stay there, that whatever Navy, Army, Marine Corps, Air Force, the broad branches, whatever their rooting ideal is, it works. Because over the course of time, people either fail out, they decide this isn't for me, or they decide that this is something I want to do. This is a career path I want to do. Now, in today's world, when you're trying to recruit football players and you want to have a good football team, that's a lot harder for a service academy that can't do that than a normal college that can do that. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I think it's probably a bad thing for the football team, but it's a great thing for the Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Army. I think it's probably not a good or bad thing, frankly, for them. But that's one side of the coin. Another side of the coin is, it seems to me that Air Force, Army, Navy, we'll take Air Force out of it. They're doing great. Whatever they're doing is working. All right. But Army and Navy, it seems like we sort of went away from the typical model of what we're looking for in college athletes from high school, i.e. recruits. I remember, Navy didn't used to recruit they didn't try to get the 6'6", 320-pound pro style guy, right? They were looking for a little bit
5'11", 180 with a whole lot of grit.
No, so the best football player I've ever met in my life, his name was Ford Higgins. He played his senior year. He was a captain. He was the captain of captains at Navy, which means it's a big deal for the service academies. He is the representative for all varsity sports that semester. Ford Higgins. He was our center. And he was about 6'2". He on the sheets he was about 250. In person he was about 230. But he was how the young kids say, he's got that dog in him. He had that dog in him. He was the hardest hardest dude I ever met. One of the best, just not football players, but if I had to pick somebody to be, every coach now is doing the foxhole test, right? There's few other people who I'd pick to be in a foxhole with besides Ford Higgins. Ford Higgins will run through a brick wall for you, and then 5 more. Ford Higgins, he's now an infantry platoon commander, I believe, with 3-5 out in Pendleton. He was the man, but he wouldn't have even been looked at today. Now that's just, I guess, it's recruiting priorities. You want to get bigger guys. You want to get taller, lengthier guys to do that pass pro. You don't need that for the triple option. You just need somebody who's going to say, F that, I'm going to go run through somebody's face, and then I'm going to get up and do it again. He might pop me, but I'm going to get him next play. And he represented that to me. I remember he was a junior when I was a freshman. Every freshman on the team looked up to him. Even the cornerbacks look up to him. I don't know if we've been getting those guys. I've sort of been separated from the program. I coached the prep school last year. I know we have some of those guys in the prep school. I know for a fact because I've seen them and I got to coach them for a whole year. We'll see. But I think the cut blocking's it's a minor thing. Yes, it makes things a little bit more difficult for the coach, but the coach doesn't. That's why they pay the coaches the big bucks, right? It's their job to figure that out. It's our job. It's a player's job to go and do it. Right. And sometimes you just need a player who's going to say, I don't care. I'm going to do whatever you tell me to do, coach. I'm going to do it as hard as possible. And we'll see what happens.
So let's talk a little bit about your career following Naval Academy. One of the absolute joys of my life. I'm in the midst of my cross-country bill shenanigans, right? And then that comes to well,
you never stopped.
I was in the thralls of it. I was living in a new zip code. I was living in a new time zone every 3 months. Jackson comes out to visit California. I come back. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm going to do. So Jax, he gets the opportunity to flight schools back. Well, first of all, let's start here. You graduated from the Naval Academy. I want you to tell me how you ended up as a Marine pilot.
Yeah, the story has to be told. This is one of the coolest stories I've ever heard in my life. So this story has to be told on the podcast.
So I'm not a Marine pilot yet. I don't have wings.
Okay. You were a Marine pilot in training. How did you end up in training for a Marine pilot?
Okay. So you want me to tell how far back you want me to go?
Tell them how the selection process works. Tell them how the selection went. Tell them what happened, and then tell the story.
I want to give the.
So we're not missing words here. We're 28 minutes in. We only just previewed Army. So, I mean, let's go.
Right. So I went to the NAPS, which is called the Naval Academy Prep School. MAPS has one. It's called Military Academy Prep School. And then there's AFAPS, Air Force Academy Prep School. I went to NAPS.
It's called AFAPS. That's what it's called, AFAPS?
That's an assumption I made. I figured that's probably what it is. So I went to NAPS, and before that, I don't know if I had intentions to go in the military, but I always thought it'd be something that would be, cool to do. That's really all I thought about it because I was a kid. Only things I thought about what was cool. All right. There was a Billy Ray will know who lived down the street. We had a guy who lived down the street. He didn't make it back. He was in I think it was 312 artillery guy. Got blown up in a truck. So I always knew if I was going to go to the military, it was going to be the Marine Corps. Okay. So that was, elementary school through senior year of high school. Okay. Sergeant Chris Herbeck. Okay. So I went to the Naval Academy Prep School, and one thing about the Navy's Naval Academy is they do a very good job at trying to get you to go to the Navy. They want to commission surface warfare officers in the fleet who were going to drive boats or fly planes off of aircraft carriers. All of which is great. That's a great thing. And the people who decide to do that, good on them, because it's a hard ass job. Being a surface warfare officer is hard. Those underways suck. But when I was at prep school. They convinced me. They took me to a battleship, which we don't even have anymore. And I was like, this is so cool. I want to be on a battleship someday. Cool. I'm gonna do this. Anyway, got it snapped out of it, and decided I want to come back, or I want to go be a Marine Corps officer. And that's really all I thought about it. I thought Cobras were cool, which is one of the attack helicopters that we have. I thought they were cool. This was when I was 17, 18 years old. Time goes on. I get to the Navy when I'm a freshman. I decide I want to be a Marine Corps pilot. Over the course of your 3 years, I'll say 3 years, freshman, junior, sophomore year, that's when you decide what you want to do. You want to figure out what you want to do out of one of the service academies once you commission. Um, for Army, they have specific jobs in the Army that you can go do. You can go be a pilot in the Army, go fly Blackhawks or Apaches. You can be an artillery guy. You can be an infantry guy. You can be a special warfare guy for the Army. I know for Navy, you can be a surface warfare guy. You can be a submarine guy. Shout out to the uniform submarines. Cool. You could be a Navy pilot. You could be a nuclear. You could be a nuclear surface warfare officer, which means you're in charge of a nuclear powered ship. You can be a Navy pilot. I think I said that right. You can be a SEAL. You can be an explosive ordnance guy, Marine Corps pilot, Marine Corps ground, Marine Corps cyber, which is a new one, which is what the smart people do because they get paid. But anyway, over the course of the 3 years, that's your time to figure out what you want to do. I had many great teachers over that time. Math teachers, physics teachers here and there. Frankly, all of them were great, but the ones that stuck out to me were the Marine Corps guys. They were the ones who were able to level with you. They were the ones who would tell you you're jacked up when you're jacked up, and they were the ones to tell you to figure, to pull your head out of your ass in simple terms. So I really appreciated that about the Marine Corps. And then I figured out that I want to be a Marine pilot because Cobras were still cool. It's a helicopter with many guns on it. And that's something I wanted to do. And then the summer going into the senior year, that's when we had the opportunity to put in our service. What's the word I'm looking for?
Service selection. You basically
no, not
picked 3 of
service
them.
selection, because the word means something here. Service preference, keyword preference. So I put in my service preferences: Marine Corps Air, Marine Corps Ground, and then everything else. All I wanted to be was Marine Corps guy. I think what Marine Air, Marine Ground, Cyber, and then everything else. I think alphabetically down that. But November rolls around. It was November 16th was our service assignment day. That's the day that the military decided what you're going to do. They looked at your preferences, looked at the needs of the Navy and the Marine Corps, and they said, these look good. And then they assigned us there. I got assigned Marine Corps Ground, which I was fired up that night. I was so fired up because I got to be a Marine Corps Ground guy. And then, the next week, the curiosity bug started biting me. And I was like, I wonder why I didn't get the Marine Corps pilot deal. I sent an email out that night to the guy who was in charge. He was a lieutenant colonel at the time, so that probably wasn't, probably not the brightest move, but it ended up working out. I emailed him, and he was like, "Well, you had some medical issues going on, but here's the step to take, and we'll be able to switch you over." So I was like, "All right, hell yeah." I didn't email that to him, but I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm in." Started doing, started checking things off the box, checking boxes off of the piece of, what I mean. And got down to the day before graduation, which is after graduation, it's done. If you get surface warfare, you're going to be a surface warfare officer. If you get explosive ordnance, you're going to be diffusing bombs and welding underwater for the rest of your life. The day before graduation, I was in my truck on the way to a Baltimore Orioles game. I was wearing let's see if we got him in here. I don't, but I was wearing salmon shorts, flip flops, and a Martin Truex Jr. shirt. And I got a call from another lieutenant colonel who is, I guess he took the role of the last lieutenant colonel that I emailed. He took that role. He calls me. He goes, "Hey, be in my office in half an hour. I got a paper for you to sign. It's your air contract." I was like, "Whoa!" I was going south. I had to go north, so I whipped a U-turn, drove back, showed up into the colonel or lieutenant colonel's office in flip flops. Walked in there, "Sir, sorry, you're dressed like an idiot right now. I get that." And he goes, "Don't worry about it. Here's a pen." And ended up graduating as a Marine Corps aviator. And, that means I'm now in Pensacola now, learning how to hopefully fly one of those insane airframes one day.
Send that email, make that phone call, send that text. You never, ever know.
The worst they could say is no.
Worst they could say is no. And then guess what? You're still in your salmon pants driving to the Baltimore Orioles game.
I ended up making it third inning. Don't worry about that.
That was awesome. What an awesome graduation that was. We went and we watched Top Gun in the movie theaters
with
that
Grandpa.
Weekend. With Grandpa. That's right.
Do your fans know about Grandpa?
Not really well.
All right, so Grandpa, he was a Korean War vet. He was an Air Force guy, but he was an Air Force guy. So growing up as a kid, I always sort of tried to pick his brain about what being in the military is like. But Korea was a long time ago. He was a staff sergeant back then, so now he's pretty old, right? So he probably hadn't seen a movie in a theater since
It must have been
since
20,
Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
But we went to go see Top Gun Maverick in IMAX.
Yeah.
And we were sitting probably 3 rows from the front row.
Yeah.
And I remember when they did that one scene where they were training and Pete Mitchell, aka Maverick, was shooting down everybody. I just remember seeing him sitting in his chair just like he probably never imagined anything like that. And
perfect weekend.
I know he didn't imagine anything like that because that was one of the craziest movies I've seen in theaters.
That's right.
And I'm 25.
Right. No, that was such an awesome weekend, man. That was such an awesome weekend and a really, really cool story. I know, proud of you for sending that email. So rapid fire here, Ed, we'll ask him back to back. We'll just flip around because I know everybody's going to weigh in here. So Jackson, I need your Mount Rushmore of beer.
I thought we were talking about Army Navy, dude.
It's over now. We just talked about it. Now we're just going to talk about world issues.
How about Ed goes first? He hasn't talked in a while.
Miller Lite. Which
That's
means I know that I just stole Jackson's number 1 too.
No, you didn't.
So, Jackson's got a lot of
No, he's going to give his own. We're not drafting him. These are just your Mount Rushmore.
Oh, okay. Miller Lite, Lunch by Maine Beer Co. Shout out to Sam Jesse. Land Shark, and let's see. This is tough. 4th one's tough. I'll go Line and Kugel Summer Shandy.
Line and Kugel Summer Shandy is good stuff. My favorite all-time beer of all time is Blood Orange IPA. Fantastic. I think a lot of me falling in love with it was the first beer I had. Getting off a plane with Pongo and Mike Santa Maria. Mike Santa Maria listens to all these podcasts at 2:00 in the morning, working for JP Morgan. So shout out to you. Go to sleep soon if you're listening. That's fantastic. Miller Lite is my go-to on game day. I love Miller Lite. Sam Adams Cold Snap coming in at number 3. It's a fantastic beer. And number 4, I don't drink it a lot, but when I drink it, it's awesome. And I think I should drink it more every time I drink it, but I love that I don't have it too often. I love Guinness. I adore Guinness. Guinness with fish and chips, fantastic. That's my top 4. Jax.
They got to be in order?
Sure.
No, I'm not doing them in order.
Okay, so why'd you ask?
because I wanted to make sure I wasn't stepping on any toes.
But you
Sorry.
were gonna step on the toes anyway, so
You're damn right. All right, so one of them up there, Cruise Banquet. All right, in the stubby bottle,
Oh, Yellow
not
Jacket.
the can. Stubby bottle. But I say Cruise Banquet's really good. I remember the first time I had Cruise Banquet was my buddy Eric Johnston, who is PDF commentator, who did ask that question.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were probably fishing, and he pulls out this stubby bottle. I was like, I had never seen that before. He handed me one. I was good. So every time I have one of these, it's good memories, and they taste good. Number 2, people are gonna hate this. Budweiser. They're back. All right. They're back. All right. I don't care anymore. I'm tired of it. I got it out of my system. They're back. All right. Whoever Odin Hokey and whoever the other guy was talking all that noise about you, they're me coming at me and you, but I don't care. I'll come back at them. I only got a couple followers, but he may say something to me. I don't know. I'll be at the military bowl. So
Finally.
All right, so we got Coors Light, we got Bud.
Wait,
Weiser.
you're coming to the military bowl? You're going?
I'll be out here.
Bet. All right.
I'll try.
Okay.
I'll do my best.
I now need to find you a ticket. Okay.
Coors Light, Budweiser. We got Coors Banquet. We got Budweiser. We got Coors Light, and then we probably got I might go. Probably Modelo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like Modelo.
International flair. I like that.
Well, never mind. I'm not gonna
That's
get
it.
into
That's
that.
the list. That's the list.
Ah.
Dinner with 4 people, dead or alive.
Eddie.
Oh,
Teddy Roosevelt. That's
I've been-
one.
No, I said Eddie. Go
you
first.
said me. Oh, you talking to
No,
me?
no,
or
no,
Kat?
no,
I don't know
Jax.
if the
This is
cat's in
not
the
how.
room.
Jax, this
You want
is
me to
not
go
This
how-
is
first?
for you.
This is
No,
your
wait,
you're the
number one,
special
Teddy
guest.
for
Roosevelt.
you.
Teddy Roosevelt, number 1. Great White Fleet National Park System. I think is the best president we've ever had. Teddy Roosevelt, number 1. Number 2, probably Dwayne Allman.
Okay.
Slide guitar player. Died in a motorcycle accident. Tragic. Yeah, I think
R.I.P.
it was either 70 or 69. But in his short discography, one of the greatest guitar players of all time. I'd probably go Leonidas. He's up there.
Like the dude from 300.
Well, yes, the Spartan King who died at the Battle of Thermopylae. Yes.
Would you give him some clothes? Would you lend him your salmon shorts?
I don't think he would want it. We got Teddy Roosevelt, Dwayne Allman, Leonidas. I might go General Lejeune.
Okay.
He was a Marine Corps general.
Uh,
One thing about
you-
General Lejeune, he was the first. No, I don't know if he was the first, but he was one of the few generals who looked at the Marine Corps as a family. Staff NCOs, junior NCOs, junior enlisted officers, commissioned officers, and the like. He looked at everybody as a family,
Mhm.
and I appreciated that.
Um,
There's a letter Lejeune wrote to the Marine Corps when he was the commandant. I got to find it, and I'll tweet it out, and
Okay.
I'll give it to you guys. But it's really good. I think everybody should read it.
So, you get framed for a ridiculous crime. Okay. You get framed for murder. You get framed for something terrible. And they sentence you to death. You are getting that lethal injection. And they say, Jackson, you get to choose your final meal before they put you down. What is your final meal?
Who was the victim?
How does that have literally anything to do with the answer?
Who was the victim?
I don't know. An innocent bystander.
Okay. I'd say, did I do it?
No,
I'm running for the hills.
bro. The question is, what would your final meal be if you could choose your final meal,
I wouldn't even get to the final meal.
bro?
Or I'd fight it in court.
Okay, let's say you
You
lost in
lost.
court.
I lost
Yes.
my final meal.
Yeah. Glad we finally arrived here.
Glass of water.
Come on, man. You ain't having no steak, no grilled cheese.
I don't want to waste it.
Wow. It's one way to look at it. What is the biggest animal that you could fight and win against?
Oh, this question. Are we talking about biggest or deadliest or like scariest?
Let's do both. Let's do scary and let's do
All right,
biggest.
so biggest. We're talking about a single, not a pack, right?
No, we're not going to make you fight a pack of elephants.
I think I could fight a wolf. All you got to do is you got to make sure, if they bite your arm, this is my theory. If they bite your arm, that's fine. You're going to lose that arm anyway. You might as well start gouging its eyes out.
Uh-huh.
If you're going to fight a cheetah, I mean, cheetahs have the smallest bite force out of all the big cats.
Okay.
The one thing you got to worry about is the claws. That'd be tough. You'd have to get their back.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, they're not big. They're like 60, 70 pounds. That's like an average cheetah.
Jax, it's a cheetah.
Yeah, they run really fast.
You're losing.
They're running to me. I don't got to worry about the speed.
So, Jax, your Wi-Fi cut out.
You got that Pensacola Wi-Fi, bro.
Yeah. Your Wi-Fi cut out when you were in the middle of saying that you
First
would
of all, I live in Milton, Florida. I'm a coach, offensive line coach at Milton High School. We won our homecoming game. All right.
You said you would beat a cheetah. You feel confident in that?
It depends on the arena. If it's
No.
me and a cheetah in this closet, I'm beating that ass.
Okay.
But if
Why?
it's me and a cheetah in an open field, they might win.
Why would you win in a closet?
Because they're fast, but they're not small enough to maneuver around a room like I can.
Okay.
They'd be bumping into stuff, knocking things down. I'd pick something up, hit them in the head real hard. Now a wolf, like I said, you just gotta let them get a hold of your arm with their mouth. Claws ain't gonna do much. They might scratch you a little bit, but then you just hit them in the head real hard and try and pull one of their eyes out.
Damn. Grit.
Great.
What are big animals I think I can fight? I mean, Hugh Glass beat a grizzly bear.
Yeah. I don't think that was a top of the line. It must have been a dumb grizzly bear.
What do you think they're taking SATs?
I don't. Jackson, you're not beating up a grizzly bear.
Hugh Glass did. And he was like 40.
So
And he just had a musket and a knife. And the musket didn't work. He
So
didn't even have the musket.
he didn't beat the grizzly bear. He played dead.
He killed the grizzly bear. The grizzly bear ended up dead. And he got back.
So to recap, you are beating a cheetah and a wolf and a grizzly bear.
It depends on the grizzly bear and it depends what I got.
You got these.
I got these.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Grizzly bear's got these.
Yeah.
I just got these. Grizzly bear's got these, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's winning that. Give me something sharp, and it might be a different story.
Uh-huh.
Or something that'll go boom.
So what's the biggest animal you're winning?
I don't know.
Wolf.
What's bigger, a gray wolf or a cheetah?
Wolf.
I think you're taking L's in both of those, bro. I love you, but like,
dude, if I die fighting, that's not an L.
That is quite literally an L.
No, it's
you
not.
would be dead.
No, it's not. If I die fighting, it's not an L.
Okay. That's one way to look at it. What is the best part of being a homeowner versus the worst part of being a homeowner?
Okay, worst part, price. Costs a lot of money.
You could be paying rent.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. I don't know, dude. I don't think about that. I go to sleep and I wake up and I go to work and I come back, go to sleep. I got cats. They hang out. It's my house. Do whatever the hell I want. I got a smoker in the front yard.
Mhm. Front
Um,
yard.
I don't have an HOA.
That's
I'll
tight.
tell you what. The day they decide to put an HOA here, I'm gonna be out there with a picket sign. No HOA.
Clever.
I was about to say something, but you were gonna cut it out.
Clever.
You know what I was gonna say too.
I actually don't. You can tell me later. So walk me through your cat naming thing. So you have first of all, how did you get the cats?
You want me to go get him?
No, I just want you to tell me how you got the cat and how you ended up
Mary.
with cats.
All right, so Mary, she was a stray. She was out there alone and unafraid. I was watching Shane Gillis, Beautiful Dogs on Netflix. I was sitting on my couch. My roommate saw that there was a cat at the back door. He said, "Hey, man, there's a cat outside." I was like, "No shit." I always had it in my mind if there was a cat outside, I was going to take it in and try and find a home for it. Turns out the cat found its own home. Took it in. It was Mary. We named her Mary.
Why did you name her Mary?
I like Jimi Hendrix. There's a song that Jimi Hendrix made called "The Wind Cries Mary,"
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I sort of thought that it was cool.
Why not?
Mary sort of stumbled on my doorstep, almost like
Right.
the wind put her there. But named her Mary. Took her in. Found out she was pregnant.
Damn.
She gave birth. I think it was November 4th. No, it was September 4th. Gave birth to 4 beautiful kittens. Gave one away. Somebody asked me to promise them that I'd give them the cat. So I gave him a cat. And therefore I had 3 kittens that I had to name. One was Dwayne. Dwayne is a big orange cat. And for those who know who Dwayne Allman is, Dwayne Allman had like sort of reddish blonde hair. So there you go, Dwayne. The other one is Eddie. He's all white. For those who know, Eddie Van Halen was kind of a wild boy with the guitar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was insanely talented and he thought outside the box. Eddie's just this Eddie, the cat, is just a damn knucklehead. Will be jumping all over the house. So that's Eddie. And then there's another one. Her name's Loretta. That's going to my beautiful girlfriend Julia.
Why is it named Loretta?
That was Julia's idea. I guess after Loretta Lynn, the country music singer.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what did you just hold up?
Nothing. Coors Banquet.
Okay. Next question. If you weren't in the Marines, what would you be doing?
Hell, underwater welders make a lot of money.
Underwater welding.
Yep. If I wasn't in the Marines, what would I be doing?
Could be a podcaster.
I don't know, man. Can't imagine anything else I'd be doing. I think I'm in the perfect spot.
So now we're moving into current events and pop culture with JLM. This is going to be open discussion. We're going to talk about some of the current events and what's going on in the country. So I want your opinion on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Good for them. I hope they get married and have beautiful children and raise them to, love America and love football. I think Travis Kelce is a good person. I think Taylor Swift is probably a good person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next question, we're going to talk about country music. I want to ask you, because I have my answer. For you, what was the golden era of country music?
70s.
I see. I go 80s.
70s. I think
Why?
the 70s was the golden era of music, period.
Why?
Well, you had the Allman Brothers, you had Skinner, you had the Rolling Stones, you had Guns N' Roses in the late 70s. You had Fleetwood Mac, who you love.
Fleetwood Mac was definitely the 80s.
Okay, fine. I didn't know that. Sorry, I don't listen to Fleetwood Mac.
Hold on.
But
when did Rumors come out? You can keep going.
I would say the 70s is the golden era of music. It was before it got digitalized. It was still analog.
Jax, you were right. Rumors came out in 1977. Well done.
Imagine that. The talent was just off the charts back then. Yeah, guys like Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard. You know, for those who don't know, those are the Highwaymen. You had the Outlaws. You had you had all the guys who built the foundation for the George Straits, for the Kenny Chesneys, for the Alan Jacksons. People who made the foundation for that, who created country music. Those guys.
So the next question, I'm going to ask Ed and Jackson this question. Ed, we'll start with you. Who is the best out right now in country music? Who is the best? Who is setting the bar?
I think this is a tough one. My 1A and 1B. My 1A for going on 6-7 years now has been Luke Combs. He's still my 1A. That's my guy. I will go see him anywhere I can, whenever I can. Never fails to disappoint. But the closest thing I've had to him in terms of my obsession, won't listen to anybody else for the most part, is Zach Bryan the last 2-3 years. So I like to think I was on both of those guys kind of early, but they are the two biggest right now. I mean, I guess you can throw Morgan Wallen in there too. He's pretty big. I'm not going to knock Morgan Wallen, but he was opening for Luke Combs 2 years ago. So I'll go Zach Bryan and Luke Combs and Morgan Wallen are kind of all equal, but in reality, it's probably more Luke Combs and Morgan Wallen are equal, and Zach Bryan's off kind of in a different little niche. But Luke Combs is my goat for sure. Jack?
Yeah.
All right, so I got a bunch, dude.
Okay.
I know I said there's only two, and it's obvious, but then I thought about it as he was talking. All right. So if I had to pick my number one, it's Sturgill Simpson. Talented musician, phenomenal writer. Yeah, he hasn't been writing a whole lot, but everything that dude writes is gold. Okay? You look at guys like, I'm not going to do the whole competition thing. Never mind. But everything he writes, he's 95% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number two, Stapleton. Duh. Do I need to say anything else? And then from there, somebody I want to shout out, okay, because they're from Virginia, okay, and I don't know if many of your fans know them.
Oh,
I know where he's going.
Low Water Bridge Band.
Yeah, talk about it.
Lead singer, I believe, is a veteran, and I believe he flew helicopters. They're good people. They make damn good music. All right. I think they just dropped a new album. I know they did. But they're damn good. All right. They won't get the shine that the other guys get because they don't do all the other, they don't do all the media that the other guys do. But they're freaking good. And everybody on this podcast needs to listen to them. All right. And I've been talking to
if somebody's listening, what's a good song? Give them like you want to listen to one song, give them
Too Stoned to Care.
Too Stoned to Care.
Yeah. That's the one that got me hooked. Or Home.
Who did you think they were gonna say, Ed? Because
literally a song about Virginia. Dude, sing about home.
I thought you were gonna say 49 Winchester.
Love me some
49 Winchester. Great. Whiskey Myers, they're up there. Hell,
Goat.
Jamie Johnson. I know he's kind of old.
When are you
but
gonna say Luke Combs?
I don't think he's not on my list for
That
country
means you haven't
music.
seen him. That means you haven't seen him live.
For
That's all
country
that
music.
means.
Yeah,
For country music,
yeah.
just to, all right, fine. I don't think he's on that list. I've seen Jamie Johnson live. I've seen Whiskey Myers live.
Whiskey Myers is legit.
Yeah, they are legit. And Whiskey Myers ain't even country music. They're Southern rock,
Agreed.
right? But hell, if anybody's, I'm not gonna say if anybody's doing anything, but Whiskey Myers, hell, Cody Johnson's on that list.
Very good.
But I mean, Sturgill is amazing. Everybody probably knows. Everybody who knows Sturgill Simpson probably knows 3 songs. All right,
Turtle.
find other songs because every one of his songs is fantastic.
Who do you think is the most overrated country singer right now?
Overrated?
Yes,
I'm not gonna say that.
you got to say it.
I'm not gonna say that because I don't listen to radio, and B, if I were gonna say who it is, it would probably get mad at me.
That's fine.
He's gonna say Zach Bryan.
No, it's Morgan Wallen.
Oh, I see. I'm okay with that. I don't
I
care.
actually completely agree with you. Now,
Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, I think
Over-
that's totally valid.
like
Totally
over, like
valid.
here's the, let's dissect this for a second. I
What's there
enjoy.
to dissect?
I enjoy.
He ain't
his
that
music.
good.
All right. I enjoy his music. We are talking about this dude like he hung the moon.
Yeah.
His music's solid. He's probably a really fun show to go see. I am seeing probably about 15 artists before I see him.
Ain't no. If I could pick artists to see before him, hell, number 1 Sturgill, Childers, Whiskey Myers, 49 Winchester, hell, Low Water Bridge Band.
Hell, he's not even my favorite Morgan. Give me Morgan Wade over Morgan Wallen.
Nah, give me
Shout out, Virginia.
give me. Well, he's dead, so don't give me him.
R.I.P.
Can't.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Waylon Jennings.
R.I.P.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I'd see before Morgan Wallen. Cody Johnson's one of them, and I think they're sort of in the same bracket. They're sort of in the same bracket.
Especially at those ticket prices.
Yeah, dude. Country music's the hell we charging $300 a ticket for.
All right. Well, if the demand is there, Jackson,
Sing
if
you're a country music singer, you're singing about the blue collar guy who ain't making that kind of money.
So you're telling me if you could charge $300 a ticket, you're still charging $150?
I like what Kid Rock did.
What did he do?
He came out and he said, "Hey, no ticket that's in general admission will be any more than $40."
That's his deal? I didn't know that.
That was his deal way back in the day.
What? Well, it may have changed with his fame. I don't know yet. I don't know. I
think Kid Rock's fame has gone a little down. All right. Back when he made Cowboy, like that was as good as it gets, dude.
Yeah.
I want to be a cowboy, baby. That song, that's
so pop country. We're talking about some of the music that Luke Bryan makes, maybe some of the music that Morgan Wallen makes. I personally, we'll actually talk about this later, but what is your overall opinion on the popification of country music?
What do you mean?
It's gone the other way, though.
Yeah, I feel like people are faking accents now.
What do you mean?
No, but I feel like it was really bad. As another cat climbs on the hanging suit.
What do you mean the popification of country music?
Like bro country.
Talking about.
You're talking about bro country.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Like Kane Brown?
Kane Brown, Florida.
I kind of like some of Kane
Lady
Brown.
Wilson, that kind of stuff.
Lady Wilson.
I mean, the bros do like Lady Wilson.
Lady Wilson is fine. She can keep doing.
The bros do also think she's fine.
Lady Wilson can do what she likes.
The bro country thing was like FGL and all those types. But
I
I feel like
parked my truck
it's swung
out
back.
by the river. I bet a
nah,
big
Dustin Lynch.
bonfire with my friends. Like, come on.
You
We're
want to know my
past that,
favorite
though. I
bro
feel like
country
now
song?
it's like Zach Bryan, it's Cody Johnson, it's Noah Khan, who's not really country, but like
Oh,
it's
yeah, that
Don't
swung
gotta
throw
be
back
Noah
completely.
Khan in there, bro. Noah Khan is van life. Van life. That's BRM cross country Bill music. That ain't country. That ain't
It's-
country.
Ed, I got a question for you.
Huh.
You remember that song way back in the day? We all got a hillbilly bone down deep inside. You remember the
Sing it
song
louder.
Yeah, sing it.
Hillbilly
Yeah.
Bone?
Yeah.
Is that bro country?
I don't know.
That's one of my favorite country songs of all time.
No, I don't think that's bro country. I think it's just like
I
it's just
love
fun.
that song.
Mm-hmm. Some of them are good. I mean, like that song
Blake
Bill Dan.
Shelton. Oh, who else is great now? Well, he's kind of old now. I was gonna say, damn, Trace Atkins.
Dude, you were about to say Trace Adkins in the 2020s in the same sentence?
I'd go see him over Morgan Wallen.
I'm not saying you wouldn't go. If Beethoven was alive, I'd go see him, but he isn't like a staple on the 2020s.
This has gone from a podcast to just Ed, Billy Ray, and Jackson talking.
Good.
Kicking it. We're just kicking it, dude. So okay, you're not going to give me a real answer on pop country. Question from Ben Herbstreet, aka Steve Shanley. Allman Brothers or Brother Osborne?
Allman Brothers. Next
Do you
question.
like Brothers Osborne though?
Yes, they're from Maryland. Same state as my college, my alma mater.
Shout out to Deal, Maryland.
We should get back to Army Navy because you brought up Brothers Osborne. Brothers Osborne is from Maryland. Navy is in Maryland. Navy is playing Army this week.
So therefore, they're awesome.
They're great, yeah. They ain't no damn Allman Brothers.
So
and they'll admit that too.
You do know Coach Pry, big Allman Brothers guy, man. Big Allman Brothers guy.
I got a better library than Pry, I bet.
You got a better what?
Library.
Ooh, give me.
I know stuff he don't know about.
Okay, give me your top 3 underground.
No, I want to give it to him because then he'll hear me say it on the podcast and he'll check it out. Like, damn, I don't know that. And I'll look on his phone, pull it up on Spotify, and then if ever I get to meet the dude, he'll be like, "Yeah, I know that."
What are the songs?
Nah, it's Statesboro Blues. That's
What
on
version?
four different albums.
Yeah, but which one's the best one?
I'll tell him that.
So when you meet him first time, it's what's the best version of Statesboro Blues?
I'd love to meet him. I think I'll buy him a beer, cook him a dinner.
Yes, but what I'm saying is your number one mission is to find out which version of the Statesboro Blues is the best one.
No, my number one mission is to tell him my favorite version.
Okay. Zach Bryan versus Luke Combs.
Luke Combs.
So are you just a Zach Bryan seller?
Hey, roll Nears, baby. I'm an App State fan.
Right. So, but what I'm asking you is, you don't like Zach Bryan.
I'll take Luke Combs over Zach Bryan every day of the week.
Right. But I'm asking you, do you
That's
not
surprising.
Like
that is surprising because Zach Bryan, you know what team he's cheering for this weekend? That's one of your boys. That's a Navy guy.
He ain't no damn Navy guy.
It's literally
Why
in
not?
the Navy.
Did he say he's cheering for Navy?
I haven't asked him. I will
He
try.
probably doesn't care.
I think he cares.
But
I think he probably
no,
cares.
I'm not a Navy guy. I'm a Marine Corps guy.
Oh my God.
But no, I'm going Luke Combs.
Okay. Top 3 Luke Combs songs. Top 3 Luke
Combs songs. On the Other Line. When It Rains, It Pours.
If you don't say Where the Wild Things Are, I'm gonna be upset.
That's probably 4.
That song is about us, bro.
And Beer Never Broke My Heart's number 3.
I gotta tell you, I'm kind of a seller on Beer Never Broke My Heart.
Wrong.
Ed, what are your top 3 Luke Combs songs?
Man, I mean, like the recent stuff, Like, yeah, you just said a great one. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold on.
I will say that his version of Fast Car has actually fallen in my power rankings. I'm gonna go with.
I mean, elite, but at the same time, it's like it shouldn't have won like Song of the Year at the CMAs.
No.
I'm a big. I think this one's for you is an amazing song. I think. Let's see, what else do I like?
Even though
I
I'm
really
leaving.
like. Even though I'm leaving's a great song. I'm very high on "You Found Yours" off the new album, and
Fire.
then I will give you "Reasons." I really like "Reasons."
So
That's a
I'm gonna
great song
go
too.
with Where the Wild Things Are. Ed saw it, cried like a baby when he played that at his concert. I'm a big like, where did you hear it the first time that you heard the song? Moon Over Mexico. It's not one of his better songs, but it was
It's a
the
good song.
first. It was the first Luke Combs songs that I ever heard, and it was just awesome. And then it's probably a tie between You Found Yours and Going, Going, Gone. It's tough. It's tough to give up that third slot. But he is incredible. Jackson.
ABR.
Yeah.
You should throw out a poll or Instagram post where you fill it in.
Yeah.
Ask who is your fans' favorite country artist?
Okay. I can do that.
Because I want to know. I just want to know.
Okay.
I'm interested.
So Jax, next question
Got
for
it.
you. Virginia Tech athletes. So I understand you're not like a Virginia Tech like super fan, but you do watch, you do follow a little bit.
I appreciate the players and the coach.
Of course. So who are some of your favorite players currently right now? Any sport.
Drones. I think the fact that drones came up out of nowhere, um, sort of turned the team's momentum around. It's kind of hard to step into that quarterback spot and you know, sort of change what people, i.e., the fan base, change what they think about the team, and that's what Kyron Drone, what Drones did. I don't know how the hell he did it, but I mean, he's obviously an athlete. He's obviously a good athlete. He
Grit.
obviously believes in himself, which is a good thing because to take a starting job. When did he do it? Week 6, week 5,
4 or 5, something like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I mean, to do that, to take that starting job so late and change the dynamic of the team and the fan reception of the team, that's impressive. And it's not just him. I mean, it's definitely a lot has to do with him because he had to earn the respect of his O line first, and then his running back second, and his receivers third. Right? He earned the respect of the O line, and as a former O line, or as a former O lineman, I know how hard we can be on quarterbacks, especially new ones. All right? And he stepped into that role, and the team found success. I'm not saying it's 100% him. It's a team effort at the end of the day. But team will not succeed if they don't believe in one part of the team. They believed in him. He was the only new part of that team, which means if somebody was not going to believe in somebody, they weren't going to believe in drones. Okay. So credit to him. He stepped into that role and he worked his balls off to earn that spot, and he got it, and he delivered. Good on him. What, you want a bunch of Hokie athletes?
Oh yeah, yeah. Just what is your understanding of Virginia Tech athletics right now?
That wrestler y'all got's a badass, or you used to have.
Makai Lewis, bro.
Lewis, right? Yeah, Lewis
from Jersey, dog.
Yeah, that dude. What's his plans after college wrestling?
Probably slam
still
people on their
wrestling.
face in the Olympics.
He's going to the Olympics,
I mean, I would assume so. Guy's a savage.
dude.
Oh,
I would. Hell, I don't know if he wants to do this. This is a life that kind of sucks, from my understanding. I would love to see that dude. You know, what's his weight class? He's about $165, right?
no idea.
What's his weight class, Ed?
I can Google it.
I think he's about
He's
a
still
$165.
wrestling in college. He's still at
Yeah,
Tech.
he's still in college.
I know,
He's
right?
165. You nailed it.
174.
165. Yeah,
174,
sure.
dude.
He's done both.
And
174,
Bo Nickel
165.
wrestled at 174, right?
Sure.
I think so. That guy's a freak too.
Yeah, from Penn State,
Yeah.
dude. Hey, if Bo Nickel can do it, Lewis can do it, man.
I'll tell you what.
And I'm a huge UFC fan. I would love to see that dude in the UFC, and I love what Bo Nickel's doing. I think it's great. He's it's kind of cool. Bo Nickel.
I gotta say.
Hold on.
Okay, my bad.
Bo Nickel, whenever he fights, you know, I think he fought some one fight contract guy in his last fight. But every time he fights, Bruce Buffer announced Bo Nickel fighting out of Penn State.
Tough.
That's
That is
cool.
cool.
I think it'd be so damn cool to hear somebody say fighting out of Virginia Tech or fighting out of Camp Pendleton or Camp Lejeune. That'd be awesome.
Ed, how tight would that be?
That'd be sick.
And I'll tell you what.
Buffer saying
And-
Mekhi Lewis fighting out of Virginia Tech, I would freak out.
And Bo
That'd be
Nickel,
sick.
Bo Nickel in wrestling was a badass. He was a national champion. My understanding is Lewis is also he's badass.
He is a badass.
Correct.
If he could develop his striking,
Who else you got?
no
What other
problem.
Virginia Tech athletes?
Well, hold on, Ed. If you do type in Bo Nickel, he kind of looks like Tyler Nickel. Now, is it because they're both white and have orange hair? Maybe.
Bo Nickel
But they do kind of look alike.
is good.
Jax, what else?
What else?
Who
What?
More Virginia Tech student athletes.
Well, one of my favorite all-timers is Wyatt Teller.
All right, so Jackson, wrapping up this podcast, we have the Military Bowl coming up. Virginia Tech versus Tulane. It's in Annapolis. It is the Military Bowl. For all of the Virginia Tech people headed down to Annapolis, what is on the must-do list? What bars do we need to go to? What places do we need to see? Tell me, give me a little scout. Give me a little scout of Annapolis. Now, you say you're going to the game. It's going to be me, you, and Pops. We're all going. Give me the advanced scout on Annapolis.
All right, so if you're downtown, Acme.
What do you call it? What do you call it?
Acme.
What do you call it though?
It's the Acme.
No, it's the meat.
No, I don't. I've never called it that.
That's what I call it. It's the meat.
It's the Acme. I boycotted Acme for a little bit. We ain't gonna get into all that, but they're back.
You boycotted it.
They're back.
Back like Budweiser. Back.
Yeah, the Acme. Ram's Head is good. I appreciate Ram's Head. Some people like Federal House. Pussers. Pussers is closing. I think next year. And Pussers is a staple. And
Wait, Pussers is closing?
yeah, it is.
I didn't
Why?
know that.
Jax, you know Substation is closing in Blacksburg?
Never heard of it.
Well, it's
Wow,
awesome.
it is closing.
Yeah, Pussers.
That's horrible.
Heroes, dude. The day
Who's
after
your
the game, Heroes.
Who's your cigar guy?
Who?
Your cigar guy.
Hell, that place is kind of rotating, but it's on West or on Main Street. I can't remember the guy's name, but I've bought many cigars from him.
Oh, here is my question. Jackson, if you were running for public office, president, mayor, council, whatever, what are you running on?
What do you mean?
What is your platform?
I think there's too many platforms to put it into one.
Yeah, but what is your one that you're touting?
Freedom.
Okay, that's great. What is your platform? I'm going to make the DMV lines shorter. I'm going to make jury duty on Zoom. Like, what is your
Well, I
platform?
wouldn't make jury duty on Zoom.
Okay.
Personally, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Why would you do that? You brought it up.
I
Why would you do
wouldn't.
it?
I mean, I've been summoned to jury duty once. We ain't gonna get into the details, but Mama Mitchell somehow got me out of it.
I think
Shout
that's
out.
our responsibility.
Yeah. Well, we figured out a way. I wasn't living in where my driver's license said I was, and I couldn't make it. So
we ain't gonna get into all that.
We ain't gonna get into all that. Jackson, it has been an honor. It has been a pleasure to have you on this podcast. Do you want to leave with these Virginia Tech fans any final message, any encouraging words as we close out 2023 and head into 2024?
Go Army, beat Navy.
Cheers, brother. We'll have you on again soon.
Semper Fidelis.
Cheers.